So, what is going on, everybody? Again, it is your boy Tactics. Trying to be more prompt and making more videos for you guys. I like just, making these kind of chill videos where I just sit here in front of the camera and just talk. I don't have to worry about editing too much and stuff like that. So, for those of you guys who do watch, first of all, I appreciate it and I thank you. And, yeah, just to, I guess, get into the topic at hand. Um, a lot of you guys have been hitting me up from my main channel um, in regards to the video I posted maybe 2 3 weeks ago, the What Is Love video. First of all, I want to thank you guys for showing me a whole lot of love on that video particularly, because I actually wasn't going to post that video because I felt as though that one was it was really personal. And you know I don't know, I revealed a lot of things. Not that anything was really bad or anything. It was just like it was a very emotional point in my life, and I almost felt uncomfortable in posting it because normally the videos that I post, like, I don't mind people judging me, or you know giving me comments and all this stuff like that. But because this video, like, in particular, was like really close to the heart, like, I almost felt reluctant to post it. So yeah, I almost didn't post it. But then, I mean, I figured, I always try to be as real as possible with you guys. And I'm always talking about dating and relationships and all this stuff. And I mean, I might as well talk about the relationship, or one of the relationships, where I felt I learned and grew as a person the most, right? And yeah, I eventually bit the bullet, and yeah, I posted it. Hold on, I don't think I'm actually in the frame right now. So let me just, yeah, there we go. So yeah, I almost didn't post the video, and yeah, that was that. But I eventually decided to go ahead and just post it, and you guys showed a lot of love for it, and I really appreciate that, for one. But also, I was actually bombarded with a lot of questions regarding love. Like, a lot of young guys were asking me, or young people were asking me, how did you know that you were in love? How do you know that you're in love? What does it feel like? You know what I mean? Like, if you had the chance, would you do it all over again? All these kinds of questions. And one guy, or one person in particular, I can't pronounce the username, so I'll put it in a annotation up here. I apologize, man. But they had asked if I could talk a little bit more, elaborate a little bit more on the breakup from the story. And the reason for this was because the person wanted to kind of they said that they liked hearing success stories, and they kind of associated where I am in my life in terms of the YouTube, and that I'm a lot happier since that situation. And basically, they kind of just want to know the transition that occurred with that whole breakup. So I guess the best place to start, it would be at the very beginning. So this is going to be kind of long. This probably might eat up the entire hour of my flip. So for those of you guys watching, for those who aren't like hardcore followers of the vlogs, don't worry if you don't want to watch it. If you don't want to stick around, I'll understand completely. Personally, I probably wouldn't even stick around, to be honest. So yeah, and it's gonna be like boring lovey-dovey shit anyway. So yeah, I understand. Here's a link to one of my videos from my main channel. Go, knock yourself out there. But it was really weird how me and her met, and Suzy, as in my ex-girlfriend. It was really strange how we met. And basically, me and Matt, when me and Matt were friends at the time, I think this was back in '08. Matt was in a long term relationship at the time. I was single, and you know how like you ever get you know when you get that feeling of like not I don't know if it's resentment or like you just feel something like whenever you hang out with your boys and you're the only one who's single. I mean, I'm sure this applies to women as well. I'm definitely sure it applies to women. But like, you know, when you hang out with your friends and you're the only one that's single, and they all talk about their significant other, and you feel like left out of the group because you're like, fuck, I don't really have anything to gossip about or talk about or anything. You know what I mean? Well, I was kind of going through that with Matt because you know Matt was going through some shit with his girl, and he always had like shit to talk about, and I was like the fucking girlfriend who he came to fucking rant and bitch about his relationship. So I felt kind of fucked up. Like it was like, oh man, like as bad as his situation was, I kind of wanted that. Like I've always been proud of Matt, and I've always been happy for whatever he's had. You know what I mean? Like this, like I mean, he's always had more money than me. He's always had like the great family dinners and all that stuff like that, and like good close relationship with his family and stuff. And you know, I don't even want to say jealous because jealous is like an ugly word, as if like I don't know. I just don't like the word jealous. But you know, I mean, he always it seemed like he had always had it made for him. Like everything just kind of worked in his favor, and I wouldn't say that I was jealous, but I was always kind of the one who'd be like, man, I really want to be where he's at right now and stuff. And you know, he had this girlfriend, and like you know, they had their good times and their bad and stuff. And you know, even despite of the bad stuff, I still wanted that. I really did miss being in a relationship. Like I'd gotten over my like player stage where like I messed around and fooled around with girls and stuff like that, and I kind of just wanted to settle down. And so the thing is, like, while I was in this state, you know, like, you know, me and Matt, I remember we I don't remember what the occasion was, but we decided to go to Boston Pizza, right? I don't even remember what the occasion was because we don't usually go there. So yeah, we called up a bunch of our friends and we're like, yo, you know, the plan is to go to Boston Pizza. Let's grab a beer and let's chill. So of course, like all of our other boys are like busy at the time, but they said they were gonna come later. So me and Matt, we were bored at home and shit like that. So we decided to go there early and just wait for them and get a table while we waited. As we get to the front entrance, we run into an old high school friend of ours named Melissa, and she's with this you know this fine white girl, you know, that I immediately just had an instant attraction for. And Matt immediately opens his mouth and he's just like, "Yo, what's up, Mel? Yo, you wanna join us at our table? We're probably gonna just grab a beer at the bar, but we can get a booth if you want." And she was just like, "Yeah, yeah, cool." And we get like a pitcher of beer, and then we sit at a booth, and we're just like, you know, chit chatting and shit like that. And I literally like freeze up because like I don't really know what to say. But like luckily like Matt's the kind of guy who like he kind of he knows me in a way that it's like he knows when I need help without me saying it. Like he can just read me and like so he'll run plays for me like to kind of get me on my feet. Like if I freeze or something like that, he'll run the set and he'll just be in it, right? And then eventually like our other friends they joined in the party or whatever. And then from there it was a little bit more easygoing because I had more people around me that I was comfortable with. So I was just, you know, cracking jokes and everything. And I noticed that she kept like looking at me and like, you know, like she would smile and everything, and like we would always like lock eyes every now and then and shit. Everything was good. It was a good night. Everyone was like enjoying each other's company and stuff. And then all of our friends dipped, and it was to the point where it was just me, Matt, Melissa, and Suzy. And like says that she has to go because, you know, she has work early in the morning. And so Matt, being the guy that he is, knowing that I might need more time to close the deal with this girl because, you know, we didn't really get a chance to have alone time, considering the fact that all of my other friends were around us. So he's just like, no, no, like, yo, stay for a little bit. Like, you know, like we're all tipsy and stuff like that. We can't drive home anyway. We might as well like continue with the party. Let's continue outside. He was doing whatever he could to get the girls to stay for a little bit longer, right? While I closed the deal. So then Matt, he's running interference on Melissa, and then I take the opportunity to start talking to Suzy, and I don't think she was aware of this because of how tipsy she was, but she immediately like she walked up to me and she was just like, "Oh, so you're a Batman fan, eh?" And then she just started stroking my chest. I was wearing one of my Batman shirts, the one with the fucking rhinestones on them, and she kept looking down at them. And like I was wearing the Batman dog tag and everything, and like I noticed that she would keep looking down on them and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, yeah, man, Batman's it. I was just like, whoa, this is great. I'm wearing this shirt every single day now, right? And then she started like looking at the dog tag and everything. So, you know, there was a lot of, you know, Kino escalation going on here at this point, right? And that's a term for the PUAs out there. And so me and Suzy, we kind of go for a little walk like further down from the restaurant, and we're talking, getting to know each other and everything. And it somehow comes out that she has a boyfriend, and that's when I immediately was just like, "Fuck, man, I hate this shirt." So I was just like, "There's no fucking chance now, man. Fuck." I didn't really let it like discourage me. Really, I kind of just still kind of tried to build rapport because I'm like, okay, you know, maybe even if she has a boyfriend, I mean, at least she'll be a cool girl to hang out with once in a while, or like a good acquaintance or whatever, you know what I mean? I was cool with that still. She didn't seem happy, you know what I mean? Like it was almost as if she was hesitant to tell me that she had a boyfriend. She was going to Boston Pizza that night when I met her. She was actually contemplating breaking up with her boyfriend. You know, I just decided, fuck, why not? So I asked her for her number and her Facebook and everything like that, and we exchanged information. She got home before me, and then as soon as I got home, I got a friend request from her and like a message, and it said like something along the lines of like, "Oh, it was really nice meeting you. You're really funny, blah blah blah, all that stuff," right? A lot of you guys can relate to this, but like, you know, when like you really like somebody and they send you a message and you get that like giddy kind of feeling in your in the pit of your stomach, and you're just like, "Oh, she sent me a message. She sent me a message, and she added me on Facebook. Yay, yay!" So yeah. Anyway, I'm just being stupid. And when she wasn't messaging me on Facebook, she was texting me, and we were talking while she was at work, because she was in real estate at the time. And yeah, she would be talking to me when when her clients weren't looking and stuff like that. And it was cool, man. I loved talking to her, and it was just like, you know, it was a really great feeling. And then I asked her, I was just like, yeah, do you maybe want to hang out sometime, right? You know, like I'm like kind of just forgetting the fact that she had a boyfriend. And you know, she agreed. She said yeah, sure. And then I invited her over to my place, and she brought over some Corona, and we sat down in my basement, and we drank, and I think we watched TV or a movie. I can't really remember, but yeah, we just chilled and talked and got to know each other. And she had like a great sense of humor, you know what I mean. And we were just really vibing and connecting and stuff. Then she goes to tell me that she's just like, "Oh, you know what, I hate to cut this, you know, party short, but I actually have to leave right now because I'm actually meeting my boyfriend at a party." And I was like, "Oh shit, the boyfriend! I fucking forgot about him." And so, you know, I wasn't tripping, because you know, it was still nice to see her, even if it was short, right? So I was just like, all right, cool, like, you know, it is what it is. So then she goes upstairs, and she's walking to the door to put on her shoes, and then she stops, and I'm like, "Oh, did you forget something?" And she's just like, "You know what? Do you mind if I use the phone for a second?" And so I was just like, "Yeah, cool, cool." So she pulls out her phone, and I go downstairs, and I let her do her thing. She comes back downstairs, and then she's just like, "Yeah, I just told my boyfriend I'm not coming." So immediately, you know, a nigga's like, "Yeah," you know what I mean? So it was really cool, right? And then, but then, like, I inquired about it. I was like, well, what happened, right? And then she's just like, I think I'm just gonna end it. Like, she's just like, I'm not happy, and we become two separate entities. So like, I just don't really see it going anywhere with us and stuff. And I don't really want to leak out too much of her shit or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how it went down, right? I was ecstatic. I was so happy. And I know that's wrong of me to say, but I mean, I was crazy about the girl at the time, and I only met her like, a couple days ago at that time. So, I was pretty thrilled to say the least, right? But she ended up staying, and we chilled and stuff, and then, surely enough, the next day she went and she broke up with her boyfriend, and after that we started hanging out a lot more and talking on Facebook every single day.